morning, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I realize this is our first DMC back from the holiday. Remember, we don't do one Tuesday mornings because of our live trade room, and there was no holiday no trading on Monday, so this makes our first edition of the week. So let's go ahead and dive into the markets and take a look at what we have. So starting first with the ES. So looking here at the ES, we were looking at this yesterday and had found that we were starting to come down a little bit and put a little bit of a breakdown at 37.43, figuring that was going to be a pretty decent reversal point. And if we didn't break down at that 37.43, then we had a little bit of another reversal point here at about at a little, little bit of a basing before a pretty strong drop. Now, I'm going to take this level and remove this supply area. But interestingly enough, how well supply acted as demand on the way back up. But as it stands right now, we bounce right off that 37.43, thus making this a better breakout trade in the future. That's really what that does. Makes that a stronger breakout trade in the future. But as it stands right now, our 4-hour is pretty choppy. And so I don't really love this supply level up above me any longer. Unless we get some basing for a breakout above this region. I'm not really a big fan of a reversal trade at all on this market today. I think if you're going to trade the reversal, you've got to go to a much smaller time frame and take a look at maybe what some levels would look like on a much smaller time frame. You do have a little bit of a breakdown below 38.08. As a potential move down. But then after that, you don't have a ton of room to roam with some pretty decent demand in here. So I'm probably just going to do one of those days where I don't have a whole lot of setups in the equity markets today because of this sideways chop. Now, the Nasdaq, looking at the NQ is actually giving me same thing where we broke out above some decent supply levels. When I look at the NQ on a 4-hour chart, we're starting to put a little bit of a rounded bottom here for a potential decent size base. On a 1-hour time frame, my next area of supply would come into somewhere up in here. So you do really actually have a breakout above the Globex high today for a chance for price to rally higher. So in the Nasdaq, I would actually look for a bullish move. Same exact picture in the Russell 2000. Where I would look for a bullish move above this region. So the Nasdaq and the Russell both give me better bullish moves on breakouts above the overnight highs. Looking very quickly at crude oil. Crude oil yesterday, we talked about a potential breakdown below this 107.26. We did get a good move down from that level, finally dropped us to below $100 a barrel oil for the first time in a long time. If we look at this, we are below $100. Oops, not a weekly chart, a daily chart. We are below $100 a barrel oil for the first time since May 12th. We've dropped down below 100, and so you think about it. Oil has gone from $123 a barrel down to under 100, and we're sitting at an area that has kind of been a support line for a while, right around this $95 a barrel mark. On a daily chart, we clearly have a lower swing high and a lower swing low. Yesterday's move down got us to a lower swing high and a lower swing low on the daily chart. And there's something significant about having a lower swing high and a lower swing low. And so when we look at crude oil today, one of the things that might be worth taking a look at is, do we have a case that would get us back up to this area here to potentially short it if price comes back up? Because we are setting up for the next move would probably be better off as a downward move. And we, in the overnight sessions, essentially gapped up, but have really not followed through on that gap. And so really breaking below the Globex low would give you a good opportunity. We have a little bit of a move up from here. But if our impulsive move is to the downside, I'd be all right with somebody getting short on a bit of a breakdown below this 99 area as an opportunity to play this to the downside. Look for a 2-to-1 reward to risk, so your stop would still be right up above this pivot. But ultimately, I think that actually works out pretty cleanly. Gold was also one that we were looking at a short for. I think for gold, we did actually just recently get a bit of a breakdown this evening. If I look at the reversal opportunities going to a 15-minute chart, I would say that you have a decent little reversal opportunity in gold at 1764 by 1766. Let's slide that over into purple. Now, because we found it on a 15-minute chart. So those are kind of the levels that I think make the most sense in gold, the S&P, and the Nasdaq. We are coming up in natural gas, rallied back up to a decent supply level. We moved away from there, but it's really kind of stalled out from that point. So at this point, if you're not in it, certainly don't get in it. But a little bit of a triangle that's being formed here. So on a breakdown, I think you've got a good continuation pattern for price to continue to drop in natural gas. Copper certainly had a good breakdown trade. If we rally back up into this region, I think copper's got a good entry at 3.554. Remember, this is the base drop below a pivot high, just below a prior breakdown area, trading the retest. I frankly don't know that we're going to make it up to that level. It's very difficult sometimes to get up to some of those areas for potential retests. In the New Zealand dollar, so our New Zealand dollar, we had a breakdown a while ago off this level, and still, frankly, it's still on its way there. It did come back and give you an entry on a retest right here last week, and continues to trade down. So if we get below these lows, I think you could have the next leg down will be down to around 605. So the Kiwi still very much in play. The Aussie, we had another really nice supply level in the Aussie that met entry. This was from last week. My guess is most of us probably didn't take that due to the 4th of July holiday, but it certainly had a really strong move down. And now is sitting above a potential breakdown level right here. And there's also a decent reversal that exists off of this wick over wick. So hopefully some of those trades give you some ideas of some things to look for today. If you have any questions, as always, shoot us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. Until tomorrow, everybody, I will talk to you soon. See ya. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like what we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way the computers know that you're actually alive and really care. And go to tradersarmy.com today to learn a bit more. And if you want to see some of our other videos, click here in the box.